gentlemen, welcome to Leadership in Politics with Dr. Abraham. With me today is Chiarain. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abe. It's good to be here.
I hope I pronounce it correctly. How do you pronounce it? What's the proper pronunciation?
It's Sile Chiarain.
Welcome. I thought we'd shine a light on you and see what you're doing. By profession, you're a psychotherapist.
Well, I started life as a primary school teacher.
Okay.
So I've been working for 30 years in education. And over the last 8 years, I've been retraining as a psychotherapist. So I found that while I was working in education, in all aspects of education, so I've taught in every classroom from junior infants to 6th class. I've also taught in a Centre for Autism. And I was retrained at a later point. I have a postgraduate diploma with distinction in education management. So I was a deputy principal and an acting principal as well in the school in which I worked for a number of years. And I found that I was meeting so many issues, personal and private, to the people that I was teaching and to their family members, that I found it became extremely important to me to retrain in a discipline that would help me to understand how I could help them to push through their pain barriers. Whilst I was there as their teacher, all of the other issues were as prevalent in my classroom and as important to me, and managing a way around that was helpful and helped these people to grow.
I like what I'm hearing. You self-developed for what we believe in, for the purpose of helping others and help them develop. How important is that?
You know, Abe, it's so important. As you know, we're all stretched toddlers, really. No matter what age we are in life, we're really like stretched toddlers. We're pushing through our pain barriers. We have basic emotional needs that need to be met in balance in order for us to be healthy and happy and wholesome. And whilst we do have an innate GPS, like an emotional guidance system as such, we won't always know, given our circumstances or perhaps the trip hazards of life, we won't know how fluidly we can attach ourselves to the best of ourselves at given times. We might need somebody else's guidance. And I felt that as a teacher, I was in a prime position to always be there as that guiding light to the children and to their families, because any child is the quickest way to a mother's heart. And so if a child has an issue, so does that mother. And very often the child that presents with the issue is really bringing in the redundancy of what's happening at home as well. So it's so important as educators, use that chance and that positioning that you have, that you're like an epicenter really in the family life when you're the teacher. So it's very important that you use that position wisely and healthily and adaptively. And I retrained to be able to give the answer. And it's wonderful. And now I have a private practice.
The private practice, is it family, adults, and children? Or only children?
Oh, everything, yes. And I work with, so I was working today, and before we had our chat, we came on earlier than we planned. So I've just been out for a run after work. It's always really good to do a little bit of aerobic exercise as my grounding after I've done work. So I had clients that visited me throughout the day today, some of whom I have on recovery programs, so they would have addictions of various kinds, and others are perhaps suffering from depression, others are suffering from anxiety, and a menagerie of issues that people are pushing through. And they come to the loft, which is where I work, and I can guidance, and I use hypnotherapy then at the end of each of my sessions to just reinforce, give people back their own language in that nice, relaxed trance state.
Let me ask you something. When you hypnotize someone, is it what we believe in? They go into a different state of mind or a quiet state of mind, they lose control of self, or this is just a movie thing?
Not at all. So that's staged hypnotism. And that's and it's very fun and entertaining. What we do is, and what we're trained very acutely and in a very elite way, because I'm a human givens practitioner.
Nice.
So we're trained really to bring somebody into a lovely trance state. So you just count somebody down in a very relaxed way into a lovely flow state, almost like REM in real time. And you just take that person to that nice flow state. There's a lovely process that we follow to do it. And when somebody is in that nice flow state, then you can address their issues. Sometimes you need to decondition trauma. Sometimes you need to help somebody to visualize that which they're suffering anxiety as a result of, and help them to use the very best of themselves in that lovely trance state where they're not feeling the fear, to see that they can actually do it. And that's the beginning. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really, really efficacious. It's a wonderful process. I feel so honored to be able to do this.
So you tap on their memories, on their experiences, and you're able to shift it to a positive experience in the future?
Absolutely. We call it panning for gold. So you help somebody to look at positive and needs-based ways of looking after that which was formerly upsetting them or tripping them up, looking after it in a way that they feel they can. So it's just reminding them, remember, recollect the data in a different way with the guidance of your mentor. And when you feel it in that space and you can see it with your mind's eye, and you can use your right brain to visualize. Your right brain is like a reality generator. When you can see it there in that trance state, you will then reinforce that in your REM sleep that night. When you sleep healthily, you'll have rounds of sleep in ultradian rhythms. So there'll be 1.5 hour long ultradian rhythms of sleep throughout your night. And when your sleep is healthy, there's at least 10 minutes of REM in every 1.5 hours, and every ultradian rhythm of quality sleep, in which you tie up those loose ends from your day. So the things that you experienced emotional arousal around, but you didn't get to close the circuit, you will run those through the reality generator in dream space at night. That's what dreaming is for. And it's a wonderful way then to just calm and relax and begin your new day on a fresh footing. And in that lovely flow state I can bring you into, that's what we do as well. We just access that space, but with a little bit of guided meditation, just a little bit of a helping hand to see how it can be done. But you're really only helping people to help themselves. It's wonderful.
Powerful. You're based in Ireland,
yes.
But you really can help anyone,
yes.
regardless, because of the technology. Tell me, where can people find you? How can they find you?
So you can see my page on the Human Givens website. That's HUMANGIVENS. So you just look for Sile Chiarain, and we can spell my name in the show notes. And then you'll find my page on the Human Givens website. So they have so much information on their website, and I'm a registered psychotherapist with them. And so my page is there, and my address is there, my email address is there, and all of my contact details for LinkedIn and Instagram, etc., are there as well.
Thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really delighted to finally have met you. It's a pleasure. I love watching your posts. You're full of good energy, and that's what it's all about, Dr. Abe. It's so important now with digital technology to close that gap, to connect with each other, and to just remember we're there for each other. It takes a community to rear a child, and we're all stretched toddlers.
We lift each other up, huh?
We sure do. We sure do.
Well, I'm glad you came in.
You too. Thank you so much.